Mate, before we start the show, I want to play a little bit of something, all right, King, if that's all right with you? Oh, King. There we go. How good. Mate, as I said, we'll talk about the Carlton and Kilda game, but I don't care. Hello?
All right, how about now? Sad sandwich. Can you hear Johnny Carlton as well?
Hello? Are we good?
Yep. Okay, we're good now. Can you hear?
Mate.
All right, do your song again. Do it again. All right, here we go.
Song again.
Here we go. We've got
second.
something to say. History here in the making. Power. There we go.
There it is, UBLT.
There we go. I was just saying, Sad Sandwich, that we've had a special guest in all afternoon, and he was so rapt that his team got to knock over Carlton, and you're knocked out, and then Freo go and waste it all for him after all that effort that they went to win the game. And good on. That was probably one of the games of the year. That game this afternoon was just amazing. It was intense from start to finish. Unbelievable. So, yeah. Anyway, we will talk about that. But let's just take a breath and we'll talk about some of the other games. We'll just quickly run through the other games and see where we're at. Have a bit of a,
doesn't really care about St Kilda supporters anymore. I'm over that now. Carlton are playing finals. That's a big story, King. So
it is. That's
St
all
Kilda
that matters.
Have your moment of glory. So
that's all that matters.
The Tigers are playing finals. So
exactly. But anyway, let's go back to Friday night, and it was Collingwood versus Melbourne, and I tipped Collingwood because I really didn't think that Melbourne had too much to offer. They've been pretty average the last couple of weeks, and they did it fairly easily. 15-13, 103 to 57, 8-9, 57. Where are Melbourne going? They're in a bit of turmoil, aren't they?
Obviously it wasn't a good second half for the Demons in the AFL. Obviously, Petrarca going down, that doesn't help. Oliver's not in form. Gorn went down for a couple of weeks too. They needed to find a different way to win. But, as I said, they'll regroup. Leva and May were out injured as well during that period too. So they lost to some key defenders, some key midfielders, some key players as well. They just wanted that season over, to be honest. They couldn't... They just wanted it over. The fans, the Melbourne fans, this is a talking point. There was lightning during the game.
There was.
And it got delayed the last quarter. And when you came back, no Melbourne supporters were there, only the cheer squad.
Just the Collingwood supporters are left.
Yeah, they wanted to stay. So, as I said, but no, officially Melbourne, they wanted their season over and done with. Now they can regroup in the off-season, get some new players into their squad. But, yeah, look, Collingwood. One last time I get to see them because they're not playing in September. Are they playing in September?
I don't think they're playing in September. I don't know.
No,
I don't know
not.
what happened. Don't know what happened
No,
there.
I don't know what happened either. But yeah, no, good to see.
Was it
as I said,
110 to 102? I think it was in the percentage
yeah, it was. Yeah,
on the
110 to
ladder.
102.
So yeah,
So,
just eight points, 8 points difference. So there we go.
well, they finished ninth, so they can stay there, and they're not playing finals, so that's good.
Exactly.
But yeah, as I said, Collingwood just pure class on the day, and
They
Melbourne
really were, and they've really come good at the end of the season. Good signs for next year. Josh Dacos and Nick Dacos both get 40 disposals. That's massive. What a massive game those two have had. It's just unbelievable. But when I talk about the crowd as well, I've talked about the Melbourne crowd for a couple of weeks now. And like you say, the Collingwood supporters stayed till the end and they were friggin' loud. And they got their team, they pushed their team just that little bit that they needed. They kick a goal, they kick another goal, they kick another goal. Mate, the supporters help their team.
Yeah. As I said, mate, Gorn wanted it over and done with. He didn't want to go back out there. He knew the game was done and dusted. They didn't want to go back out there, the Demons, but they had to because of the thing. But yeah, look, just quickly, in TikTok, a lot of Carlton Port Adelaide supporters in there. They're both happy campers.
Yep.
Carlton supporters would have been having a heart attack 2 hours ago, but all the Carlton supporters owe Port Adelaide a little bit of gratitude as well. So thank you, Port Adelaide. Baggers are playing finals, Port are playing finals, and yeah, Collingwood and Melbourne, they're not playing finals. So off seasons for them, and I reckon Collingwood will bounce back next year. King.
No doubt about that.
You?
No doubt. Yeah. And what do you reckon? Well, being a controversial between these two teams, does Petrarca go to Collingwood?
No, I think Petrarca stays with Melbourne. I just don't see Petrarca leaving. I don't think no club can afford him at the moment. I think the only club could afford him is Gold Coast, but he doesn't want to go to the Gold Coast. He wants to stay in Melbourne.
And he's got like a 7-year, was it a 5 or 7 year deal or something that he's got with Melbourne?
He's got 5 years left on his contract, so it would be a lot to get him over and done with. But I think he'll stay at Melbourne. So.
Yeah, Genwell was actually saying in the live chat on Friday night in the watch along, I wonder if this is going to be delayed. So yeah, it was, and the Thunder came in heavy and strong, and it was all over. So quite the longest quarter that we've sat through for a while. So there we go.
It was, yeah,
not too bad. Moving on to the next game, it was the Mighty Fighting Hawks with a demolition job on North Melbourne. 26-14, 170 to 4-7-46. They're just dangerous. Like I don't want to play Hawthorn if you're a team going in the 8, do you?
Well, let me just start off. Saturday was the most boring day of footy.
Yeah.
No game was interesting except for probably Brisbane Essendon. But the other game, they look dangerous, mate. Bulldogs Hawthorn, first week, elimination final. That's going to be a very good game. I reckon Bulldogs are good, Hawthorn are good. So that's going to be a cracking game.
Yep.
Mate, Hawthorn, they're the underdogs, mate. They look better and better every week, mate. Every week they just get better and better. Ginnivan, Watson, their small forwards are killing it. Tinky Winky, you can put that eyes up in the back of your head, mate. As I said, they're alive, and it's actually Hawk ball at the moment too. Hawk ball is going live. Yeah, they unfortunately North Melbourne, as I said, season over. You'll get picked 2 next year. Should get some talent, but Hawk ball truly well alive.
It is, and Kangaroos just were really poor. Like they didn't really show any fight. It was a bit even in the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, but then once they got rolling far out, they just steamrolled them. Geelong did a similar thing to West Coast as well, which is the next boring game of the Saturday, where it was 26-12, 168 to 11-9-75. They made a bit of a a fight back in the second half, and I think they won the second half, to be honest. But I don't know whether that's right or not. But yeah, Geelong just did what they had to do. They weren't up against anything. West Coast have got some massive issues to sort out with coaching and, some of their players and retiring, and Harley Reid's got bloody anger management issues and shit like that. So yeah, it's where do you see Geelong sitting now that the 8's fixed and they're in that position now at third spot, which is, that's great for them to finish in third. That's a mighty effort for that team to finish in third spot. Where do you see Geelong in the overall scheme of things?
Look, obviously the first half was crazy, 114-14 at half time. It was 100 points already at half time. Jeremy Cameron kicked 7 goals. He was he was looking at about 14 goals. He was going to end it with 14 goals.
Yep.
But Geelong just did what they had to do. Hawkins and Tui obviously retiring, so they got a thing as well. West Coast, obviously, Nate, what can you say? They look. I said at the start of the year, we made a prediction. I said I'll give West Coast a pass mark if they don't lose a game by 100 points or more.
Yep.
And they did it. Their biggest loss was 99 points, so they just got a pass mark for me.
Yep.
I know the last 2 weeks against Carlton and Geelong were bad and awful, but the 2 weeks before that they beat North and Gold Coast and they looked good.
Yeah, they did. They looked really good.
They had some high praise.
Yep.
So yeah, look, as I said, mate, a lot of these teams back in the rebuild now. A little off season. Their main focus is to try to find a new coach now. The Eagles. I don't think they're gonna keep the interim coach. Look, Geelong, a lot of teams were riding off Geelong a couple of weeks ago, King. I was one of them.
Yeah, me too. I didn't think they had it in them either.
No, I didn't think Geelong were that good. But as I said, I'm going to make a bold call. I think they lose straight sets. I think they get. I think Port Adelaide smash them first week of finals in Adelaide, and then they'll verse the winner out of Hawthorn and Bulldogs. And Bulldogs and Hawthorn just look way better than Geelong at the moment. Do. So I see Geelong going out in straight sets. But I've said things about Geelong, and they've proved me wrong once. They can prove me wrong again.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Do you know, I've got a question from CJ Coates. Do you know when the final fixtures are released?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m.
There we go, CJ. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. What else have I got? They won the third quarter. What else have we got in there? Saturday sucked. Super sucked Saturday, GT. For those games. So, yeah. It was pretty average, wasn't it? And on TikTok, someone saying, "Stop crying." I'm not crying, mate. I'm up and about, mate. I'm the biggest Port Adelaide supporter right now in the world. So that's right.
Bags are playing finals, mate. I'm happy, mate.
Genwell has a personal banana for a home and away season. Lee Montagna for saying Hawks were more of a 5-7-10 year rebuild, and Damien Bartlett because he's Damien Bartlett.
Yes, well,
far out. It's like a 2-year rebuild, isn't it? Far out, just unbelievable what we've seen this year. Do you reckon he's coach of the year? The Hawthorn coach?
I reckon he's coach of the year. I personally think he's coach of the year. To start the season 0-5, to now play finals is just incredible.
Yeah.
I think he is coach of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, again, we were just saying, if guys make sure you're following HFD. This Tuesday will be the last banana of the week. And then we find out who banana of the year is. So
exactly. Yeah.
Exciting times, but one more banana to be let out on Tuesday. So tune in for that. But yeah, as I said, Geelong, I just don't see them going far in the finals, and I think West Coast just need a big rebuild and a new coach. So
yep. Then we also had on Saturday we had Richmond and Gold Coast, and Gold Coast get their second, was it their second away win for the season?
Yeah, yeah.
14-10, 94, 10-6, 66. Richmond rightfully get their wooden spoon, get beaten by the Gold Coast. A good thing for the Gold Coast to get an away win, but both teams really not that great, really, are they? So, how many Richmond players go to the Gold Coast next year? Who do they bring in to bolster up those young players? It's an interesting one. What do you see? Where do you see Richmond? Are they in the wilderness for a couple of years now, or what's going on?
Oh, I think they're going to be the busiest team in the trade period. I think a lot of players are going to go. I think they're going to get a new players. As I said, their list, 3 already retired, 5 wants out. That's already 8 players gone. Plus, they've got the list. They've got people to the list as well. So basically, they're looking at 12 players already out of their squad. So that's basically a whole new freaking team. So look, they need to focus in the off season. They need to get some talent in there, because if they don't get talent, they're going to be trouble in the next couple of years, King. So they're getting pick 1. So that's locked in. Maybe, but you just can't expect pick 1 just to be a star just in the first season, unless you're Nick Dacos. But as I said, it's they just need to get some mid-recruit talent. And yeah, as I said, Richmond there. As I said, Gold Coast they need the opposite. They need to find some young talent who can step up, and they need to find out what their problem away is, and they need more. As I said, I just found out a stat. This year, Gold Coast got the most wins in their career. 11
they
wins.
did.
That's their highest.
They did. Yeah, they mentioned
ever.
that. Yeah.
And they still couldn't make the finals, which is it's, obviously you just know how close the season is.
That's right. So do you go out and get a couple of really experienced players if you can to bring into the Gold Coast to help them out, or?
Yeah. I think Rioli's going to come into to the Suns from the Tigers. I think he's going to be that experience in the back line too.
Yep.
As I said, I think they need to find a backup for Ben King if he gets injured. That's a problem. As I said, they just need to find. They've got the list. Like Anderson, I think needs to go up in another level. Rao's a bit off and in and out. He plays a good game, then he plays a bad game. He just needs to be consistent.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a mature age midfielder would be good for the Gold Coast. So.
Yep. And I've got a couple of questions for you. Again, we'll finally a team that doesn't know how to bottle a number 1 draft pick. North fans, don't give me that that we're happy with Sheasel shit. So North are saying they're happy with Sheasel. And do you think Dusty makes a U-turn, Johnny Carlton? Does he go to the Gold Coast for a year on massive money?
I said a couple of weeks ago, I made a bold call. I said that Dusty will go to the Gold Coast, but after watching him after the Richmond Gold Coast game, he looked very upset. He was crying, a bit emotional. So I think this is the end for Dusty, to be honest.
I don't know whether I think he's just lost the passion for it. It seems like it looked like he just doesn't have it. Like when you look at him out on the field, he just doesn't look like he's got his heart's in it anymore.
Exactly. Obviously, not much on TikTok. Just some happy Port Adelaide supporters in the chat. They're just happy the Power are winning. So
that's right.
Yeah.
11 wins in 13 seasons. You need 12 at least. Suns merge with the Devils.
No,
more like the Kangaroos. That. More like the Kangaroos merging with the Devils will be a better thing, I guess, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't like this merging thing. It's not my type of thing, but
I don't know what you do. Like you're just going to thin out when you bring the Devil, like the Tasmanian Devils in. How much are you going to thin the competition out again?
Well, there's going to be a team. There's going to be a team that has a bye every week. So
that's crazy.
Yep. So Yeah.
We definitely need more
as I said,
teams, more talent. There we go.
yeah,
All
over on
right.
TikTok, just a quick question before we move on. Crips
Yep,
for Brownlow.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so. Who is close? Who's a close second? Is that
Dacos.
like Dacos is going to be the running second, or is it going to be Lockie Neal from Brisbane? Has Lockie Neal done
Neil,
enough?
yeah, I think Dacos, Neil, or Bont. Bont could come and surprise
Bontempelli
a
as
lot of
well.
people.
So yeah, it's
And
just
don't forget Zach Butters. I actually think Zach Butters
Zach
will look
Butters as
strong as
well.
well.
I know.
I like Butters. Yeah, Butters played really good today as well. So
Someone
Butters could
mentioned
come home.
someone mentioned Horn Francis today as well for it. So
Oh, I think Butters has been way better than Horn Francis this year. But
yeah. But the thing with Cripper is that he's carried his team. So of course the umpires will notice him because he's everywhere. He's all over the field. So
he
that's
is.
that is a big thing. If you're getting votes from umpires, then and you're the number one man in a not 100% talented team. So yeah. But it's going to be really interesting, very close. But I don't think Dacos. I think Dacos probably needs another year. I would think before. If next year's a breakout year and then he wins the Brownlow, then fair enough. I think it's too soon, maybe for him. But mate, Crippers led this team all year, every single year, 200 gamer. Yeah, just from the start to the finish, he's been like just there trying his heart out every week. So, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, all right, let's move on.
This Tassie Devils team should have been done long ago, and they wanted to expand somewhere else in their L region as well. Well, it's not they are, but they're not going to do too much in there anyway. So. Brisbane and Essendon. So Brisbane get away with the chocolates, 11-21, 87 to 10-7, 67, 21 behinds Johnny Carlton for Brisbane. What a disaster. Far out, it could have been a massacre.
I was speaking to my mate. If they didn't kick those behinds, Bombers would have won by a point.
Yeah.
That's very concerning. Look, Saturday night, I'm like, are we going to verse this team in September? Are we going to verse the Lions in September? Is this what we have to look out for?
Yeah.
I thought the Bombers, they played a good second half, to be honest, the Bombers. I thought they played a really good last quarter as well. But look, the Lions, hang on, mate. They're now playing a home final, and they've got Carlton now. So,
yep.
As I said, another team that came out from the ends. There were, mate. No one thought Brisbane was going to make finals when they were in the bottom four before the bye round, and then after the bye rounds, they come out and win 9 in a row, and they win 10 of their last 12.
Yep.
So, as I said, they deserve finals. They deserve to be there. And now they've got a hungry Carlton side week 1 of finals.
They certainly do. It's going to be a cracking game. It's going to be a beauty.
And look, as repeat itself, last year prelim final, the Blues were there, and we copped a beating, and we copped heartache and disappointment. Yep. And I think they've learned, the Blue Boys, and hopefully it's a different time around. Yes,
I think you're a better team. You're a better team this year.
Yes. As I said, a lot of Carlton supporters. Thank you, Port Adelaide. There will be a lot tonight and tomorrow from the Carlton supporters.
There will.
So,
yeah.
I think Port Adelaide. I think Port Adelaide just gained another 20,000 members tonight, but that's all right. We can give them the 20,000 members for one night. Don't you reckon, King?
Exactly. They were talking about. I actually watched the Brisbane Essendon game, and the commentators were basically saying that Essendon going to be in the wilderness for another couple of years because they just don't have next year. They can't see them bringing in any talent that is going to make them win more than 12 games or more than 13 games next season. So they're just...
The Bombers.
Yeah, the Bombers. And this is the senior commentators, ex-players, things like this. They just didn't think the talent was there to be able to win the games that they need to win. So it could be another couple of years of the same again.
That makes me happy.
I know it does. Yeah.
That makes, yeah. Look, I was speaking to one of my mates who was there, and they're in shambles. He goes, who the hell are we going to get next year?
Yeah.
We relied on Dersma, Mackay, and Gresham this year. Who the hell are we going to get next year? As I said, they're going to go with Goldie again. Goldie can't even walk. The poor guy. He wants to retire, but the Bombers are telling him no, don't retire.
Yeah, exactly.
Essendon are in trouble. So as I said, Heppel's now gone. We'll see what happens with the listings. See what happens. Players might want to trade. You never know.
They might. Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, they need to find something during the off-season, the Bombers. They need to find what's wrong. They need to go back in there and they need to review the whole season and they need to go away and they just need to see what's wrong. And
what do you think? Do you think is it the coaching or is it the players?
I think it's the players. I think they're not there. I just don't think they have the talent. Yeah. They don't have a tall key forward that they rely on. They rely on Kyle Langford, but he's not that tall. Jakey Stringer has an off game there too. They're putting Draper down on the forward line. He's not going to work long term.
Mm-hmm.
Their midfield, Merritt and probably Durham are the only two I can see in there. Caldwell's been all right too, but the rest I just don't see it. And they thought Ben Mackay was going to be there. They're like protector, their saviour. But
he's not.
Yeah,
he's just
they
not good
relied
enough.
on him too much.
No, that's right. And then on the Saturday night, it was Sydney and Adelaide. And Sydney really made a mess of Adelaide, to be honest. It was it was a bit of carnage.
My last bold call, it did not go well.
Didn't go well.
No, I thought the Crows might have stolen this.
I thought they would have on the previous weeks. Like it's just so up and down, the Crows. God, they play like champions. And then they come out and put this sort of rubbish on. You know, they kick 90 points, but Sydney kick 18, 13, 121. And Adelaide 13, 12, 90. But they just got done. They were done in the first half. It was over pretty much. So, and they were just chasing.
You really want to know the truth, King? What? I was so excited for this game. I turned it on. I saw the big bear who didn't have his moustache on, and I turned it off.
Did he shave the whole thing
big
off?
Bear didn't have his facial hair, and I'm like, well,
he shaved. He did shave it all off.
Yeah.
Oh no!
The big bear.
He's
got clean shaven. So
there you
go. Johnny Carlton, what's your thoughts on Port Adelaide, mate? The best team in
the
round
history
24
of the world
these days, mate. The best team around 24.
That's
Hey,
it.
half the power. How about that? Yippee hootie.
Mate, he's singing the song now, so he loves the power. So
I've had the power song on repeat. So thank you, Port Adelaide. Thank you, Willie Rioli. Thank you, the whole Port Adelaide. I don't know if you saw, but they did an interview with Ollie Wines, and Ollie Wines said he was a Carlton supporter when he was young. He had a little soft spot for the Blues. So
there we go.
Ollie,
good on you, Ollie.
We love you. We love you, Ollie. So congratulations on 250 as well. But yeah, no, as I said, I didn't watch this game. I was focusing on Brisbane Essendon. I was at a pub with the boys watching it. So. Yep. You did you watch it, King? You got to tell me the rundown. I didn't see. I didn't
watch too much of it. I was just seeing the highlights of it. But they were just getting done really easily, so it wasn't hard. Sydney taking the number one spot, deserved so, I guess. They had a bit of a glitch in the system for a couple of weeks, but overall, mate, the year's been amazing, hasn't it?
Apart from that Port Adelaide game where they got
rim.
Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they've been perfect. I thought, as I said, their midfield, that's a midfield. Like a midfield that's kicking 60 goals between Heaney, Warner, and who was it? Who was the other one? Heaney, Warner, and someone else. But 60 goals between them, that's absolutely insane. That's crazy.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, they Golden, Heaney, and Warner, mate.
Yeah.
60 goals between them. That is a midfield, man. They've added Grundy to that ruckman. They're going to be a dangerous threat in September. As I said, minor premiers, deserved. They were the best team all year. As I said, you said they had a little glitch. They did, but they bounced back, and they just took easy work on Adelaide. I didn't think Adelaide was going to win that game at all.
No, they didn't even look close. No. Genwell was just saying, so this is the most likely week one fixture. Thursday night, Port Cats. Friday night, Bulldogs Hawks. Saturday Arvo, Swans Giants. And Saturday night, Lions and the Blues. So
wrong.
Wrong?
Absolutely. He's got all games wrong.
There we go.
So Sydney GWS Thursday night. Brisbane Carlton Friday night, Bulldogs Hawthorn Saturday afternoon, and Port Adelaide Geelong Saturday night. That's what the fixtures going to be.
There we go. I'm glad I read that out. I'm glad I read that out then. There we go. And so have you got a lot of people are saying Sydney's set for a grand final appearance? I'm not sure about that. I still don't think they are. They might have won the minor premiership. They're on top, but yeah, there's other teams on their day.
I do think they're going to go to a prelim. I think they're going to be the Giants' first rounds. But as I said, if they'll probably go up against Hawthorn in the prelim. Imagine Hawthorn being Sydney in the prelim. That could happen.
Imagine that.
And if Sydney lose the first week to the Giants, they have to verse Brisbane or Carlton.
Yep.
So Sydney could go out in straight sets as well. But I don't know yet. As I said, if Papley's back, which he should, a lot of people are coming back in. There's a week off now in football. Do you know how good that is?
Yeah.
As I said.
Just helps to all those injured players have just got the little niggles that helps them just recover that little bit longer. And yeah, it's great. And speaking of good and bad sides, the Bulldogs and GWS today. Look, I did a watch along for all these games today, the whole three, and geez, the Bulldogs were good. Like from the get go, like you always say to me, there's a good and a bad Bulldogs, and we always know which one's going to turn up. Mate, today the Bulldogs turned up to Ballarat. They like to play there. It was blowing like a 50-kilometre wind as well, so conditions weren't easy. But 14-14-98 to 9-7-61, they had control of this game right all the way through. I didn't see... It's the first time I've seen GWS have not really have any answers to be able to come back this time today. So... good on the Bulldogs. They secured their position in the 8, and GWS. I guess GWS didn't have as much to play for as the Bulldogs did, but still, I would have expected a bit more from the Giants. But kudos to the Bulldogs. They were more accurate. They played really well today. Did you watch this one?
Before I answer that, Johnny's TDK going to be back for the finals? I think he is. They've said that he's only gone for the home and away season. He looks back on track. So I think he will be back for week one. Look, King, if you go back on the Tuesday podcast, what I said the good doggies are going to turn up this week, and I think Giants are due for a loss before finals, and that's what happened.
Yep.
They won 7-8 in a row, the Giants. They're due for a loss. And yeah, the good doggies, they needed to fight for their spot in the finals, and they came out, and the good doggies showed up today. So big game against the Hawks, which will be very exciting.
Going to be a great game against the Hawks. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Giants. I think that doesn't really affect the result today. As I said, that they were due for a loss, so they're going to be there in September. They're going to be there in 2 weeks, and they could surprise Sydney week 1 of finals, King. So,
and they've shown this year that they are a very, very good side, and they can put away anybody. So they've with Toby Green and a lot of those GWS players. Toby Green today he tried to get his team up, but it was just difficult. So, but no, they'll be fine. Finals come around and they'll be smashing it. And then we come to the big game, and look, I've got to give a lot of credit to what this St Kilda team has done to finish off the year. In the last 2 months, the way that the Saints have played against teams and beaten teams, and watching a game, like as I said a couple of weeks ago, looking at that game that they played, and they almost played a perfect game. The way that they played Carlton today was outstanding. That was one of the best games of the year, I reckon. It was intense from the second of the siren went, and both sides were on, and both sides it was brutal. So
I'm going to disagree with you there, King.
You're going to disagree with me?
I'm not going to give St Kilda any credit.
No credit.
I'm not going to give them no credit. I don't know if you know, but at halftime, St Kilda were 14 free kicks to Carlton 2.
Yeah.
2 free kicks in a half of football. What the hell is this?
Look,
2 free kicks in a half of football, King. 2 free kicks.
It was 9. I know. It was 9-1 in the free kicks. I know. Yeah. It was crazy.
And guess what happened? Umpire got hit in the back with a water bottle.
He did. I know.
Hey.
Yep.
As I said, wait, just quickly, Johnny. Yes, Johnny. Do you think they will lose to Brisbane? I don't think so. I think they're going to win. As I said, I'm not going to give St Kilda no credit. I thought the Blues were really good today. I thought no Harry, no Charlie, no McGovern.
Yep.
All our youngsters stood up today to go up against a full St Kilda squad. I thought was really, really good.
Yeah.
I said they showed heart, the Blues. They never gave up. Ashton Moyer, that sub, that bloke, he is exciting, mate.
Yeah.
Ashton Moyer is exciting. Wow. Brody Kemp. I was loving him last week, but he missed that. He needed to kick that, King. It would have been game over.
He needed to kick it, and there was a couple of marks he needed to take.
Exactly. He was just a bit off today, Kempy.
He was, yeah.
Even if we had Harry today, I just thought we just needed that one tall today.
That's all you needed. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, look, apart from that, I'm not going to give St Kilda credit.
Okay.
They finished 13th on the ladder. They didn't play good football until the last month.
Yep.
They were shocking all season. To go in finals last year and not even be close to the 8 this year. So I just think, it's just as I said, I just think they need a big rebuild. As I said, if they keep playing like this without Max King in the last month, maybe that's something they need to look forward to.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not going to give them credit. But I thought the Blues were well, but unfortunately, St Kilda, they clinched it at the death. So.
And one of your well, not favourite players, but sometimes he is your favourite. Is it Fantasia?
Mate, Orazio.
Fantasia. He had a great game today.
I thought Orazio was good today.
He was good today. Yeah.
I thought he was good today. Yeah. Orazio, Fantasia. Yeah.
I got to put Owies on the thumbnail as well for the game. He played all right too. He played okay too.
Always did his job, yeah.
He did.
I thought all the boys did their job, but unfortunately, as I said, St Kilda scrape it at the death, to be honest. So, as I said, if Port Adelaide didn't win, I think I would be speaking a lot more about the game.
Of course. Yep.
But obviously, with the results,
you got there, so it's all okay.
It's all okay. I don't have to talk much about the game. So
exactly, yeah. So how many players are you getting back next in 2 weeks' time?
Voss said we could be looking at 7 to 8 ins.
Wow, that's massive. And what about these good players? What about these young players new players that have been playing so well? It's tough to kick them out of the side.
But yeah, look, as I said, as much as they came in, they did a job, but unfortunately, as I said, it's finals now. We can't risk it. You know what I mean,
That's
King?
right.
You can't risk it. Harry, Charlie, Martin, our forward line's back.
Yeah,
our forward line is back.
Yeah.
Tom de Koning back in there, the ruckman that we needed.
Yep.
I thought Pitternet was good today, but de Koning's obviously a better ruckman. McGovern, Doherty. This team's just.
And you lost McGovern before the game today as well.
We could have 8 ins the first week of finals. It's crazy. Can't believe it.
It is crazy.
And a funny thing is, they're saying Sam Doherty could return, right? This is a place that he did the ACL opening round against the Gabba, against Brisbane at the Gabba.
Really?
And now his first game back will be at the Gabba against Brisbane. What a fairy tale.
That's crazy. Yeah. And then let's talk about the game which saved your weekend. It was Port Adelaide 13-9-87 to Fremantle 9-13-67. Fremantle had everything to play for. They had a top 8 spot to get into the finals. They just couldn't get the job done. The intensity of Port in the last quarter and the way that they spoiled and the way that they kept the pressure on, outstanding by Port. Well done. But you can say the same thing about Carlton. They had everything to play for to get into the 8, but they couldn't get the job done. Fremantle had the home crowd, had their crowd was getting behind them in the last quarter. But Port, you got to give them credit. They're in position number 2 for a good reason, and they just played 4 quarters of footy and got the win.
King.
Yes. There we go.
Okay. Power. Now, This is the game I wanted to talk about.
Good.
Right now, I'm a Port Adelaide supporter, all right? Now, this is the game I want to talk about. First of all, shout out Miles Bergman.
Oh my God. I know.
What a player, mate. He was on the talls today. He was on the He was on the smalls today. Mate, Bergman, wow, mate, he stood up. He absolutely stood up. I thought Miles Bergman was phenomenal.
He had an
today.
absolute beauty of a game. Yep.
So, as I said, Bergman, I want to give a massive shout out. I watched his whole game today. He was on Voss. He was on the smalls. He was marking. The pressure from Bergman was outstanding. Another good. I know he's had a bad couple of months, but I thought Zach Thatcher was really good tonight too.
Yep.
I thought Zach Thatcher was really good tonight. Burton came in for Houston. Burton did an amazing job too. Jace Burgoyne, that was pretty a standout game for Burgoyne. Farrell going down didn't help. I thought Port Adelaide's forward line was elite. Their pressure was elite. Geordie Artis was good today. And I think this was I'm not gonna say anything, but I thought this was the most accurate game Port Adelaide's been this year.
Yeah.
I thought they were dead eye today, and they needed to. So, as I said, Butters, Horn Francis, sweet. He did his job. Dante Vicentini came in, kicked a wonderful goal from 50.
Yep.
I just thought Port Adelaide were just amazing tonight. And as I said, I'm a very happy Port Adelaide supporter today. Yep. Interim Port Adelaide supporter.
That's right. Yep. Well, they nearly lost their whole back line, didn't they?
Yeah.
So when they went off, and it's like, who are you gonna have in the back line? And then you thought you're gonna put Radigalia back again. It's like, no, don't put him down back again. Leave him up forward. So
without no Dixon, no Marshall, no Lord there. Do not put Radigalia down there. No.
Crazy.
Keep it where he wants. Keep it where he belongs. All right. So
that's it.
I thought Port Adelaide I thought their pressure was elite the whole game. Freo, the crowd, you got to give Port Adelaide credit. They went to Optus Stadium.
They went to Optus.
It's hard to win over there, especially a game like that when Freo are playing for finals. Port Adelaide just stood up to the fans, stood up to the heat, to the crowd. I thought Port Adelaide was phenomenal today. And that's why they just...
Me and Chris lived in Perth for a long time, and we went to a lot of Port games, and we didn't see a lot of wins. So it's hard to win. It's hard to win there.
Well, lucky you're not in Perth now.
Exactly right.
Maybe that's the reason.
That's the reason why. Exactly.
Maybe it was a good... look, Port Adelaide, second on the ladder. They're going to go far. I think they might make it to the final round. So I think they might be there.
They might be.
The last day of September. I think it'll be a fairy's tale. 7 weeks ago, they were telling Ken Hinkley to pack his bags.
They were.
And now he might send them to a granny.
He might, yep.
And as I said, look, Port Adelaide supporter tonight. I'm very happy. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I go back to Carlton supporter.
That's right.
But tonight, I'm a Port Adelaide supporter, so I'll play the song all night. I won't stop listening to Never Tear Us Apart, but Freo just couldn't tear Port Adelaide apart tonight, King. So
that's it. All right. Well, let's wrap this up because it's a late one, and we've got to go to work tomorrow. But let's have a quick look at the final 8 for the year. So Sydney number 1, Port Adelaide 2nd, Geelong 3rd, GWS in 4th, Brisbane 5th, Bulldogs 6th, Hawthorn 7th, and Carlton in 8th.
Who's 8th?
Carlton in 8th by 110.2 to the next team, who we won't mention, 102.5. Collingwood. So there we go. How did that top 8 finish compared to what you thought at the beginning of the year? Who didn't get in that you thought was going to get in?
Bulldogs.
I didn't think they were going to get in?
Bulldogs and Hawthorn.
Yep. So you would have had... Did you have Collingwood and Fremantle in there instead?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. They're the 2 that I had in, and there were the 2 that I didn't have in. That's what happens.
There we go.
Bulldogs and Hawthorn, they deserve to be there. So,
yep.
Exciting week, exciting finals fixture this year. King, 2024 has been a crazy year, and it's only getting started. The finals is going to be crazy.
It certainly is. The bottom of the table, Collingwood in 9th, Fremantle 10, Essendon 11. Probably most disappointing out of a lot of the teams there. Essendon finishing 11th. St Kilda 12, Gold Coast 13. See, I thought Gold Coast were going to be in the top 8. I put them in my top 8 at the beginning of the season. But if you can't win away from home, then you're not going to be up there. Melbourne, after Petrarca went out, they went downhill from then. Adelaide 15th, West Coast 16th.
Well, I had Adelaide making the 8 at the start of the year.
You had Adelaide. There we go. And so did quite a number of other people that we know. West Coast 16, North 17, and Richmond got the wooden spoon. So there we go. North gets 12 points, 3 wins for the year. And I think Kelly Underwood mentioned at the beginning of the year that West Coast was going to get 8 wins. So what's 8-4? 8-4 is a 24. She was one game off.
She was close.
She was close.
She was close.
So yeah, there you go. So that's the wrap up. HFD is going to be doing watch-alongs for every finals game that's coming up, the grand final, and we are in discussions at the moment whether we start to do some of the AFLW games as well. So we're going to have a look at that. I got asked today whether we're going to be doing the final series, and we are, and whether we're going to do all the games, and we are. So it will be full on. It's been a massive year for HFD Media and also HFD Footy. HFD Footy got monetized in 5 weeks, so we've just absolutely smashed it over on this channel. We've got people watching this show after the game. It's growing every week. So since episode 1 to now, we've almost quadrupled our numbers. So we're growing slowly, and it's going along well, getting good reviews. So thank you to everybody who is coming on board and joining us along. And we might wrap it up there and have an early night. You got an early start in the morning. So thank you to TikTok. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to everybody who's watched along today. We've done a triple header today. So take care, everybody. And
we'll see you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday for the big wrap up of the round, and talking about the final series as well with the guys. So take care, everybody, and look after yourselves. Take care, spike your hair, and what do we say, Johnny Carlton?
Stay hunky.